Well, what do celebrities Tom Cruise, John Travolta, and Kelly Preston, as well as Kirstie Alley and Lisa Marie Presley have in common? They were all members of the Church of Scientology. Now, Scientology is one of the world's most secretive and polarizing religions, yet many people don't know anything about it, what it stands for, or even what they practice. One journalist from Rolling Stone magazine sought answers from the inside, and she documented it in her brand new book, Inside Scientology, the story of America's most secretive religion. Please welcome Janet Reitman. Welcome, Janet. Thanks for being with us today. I was fascinated by this entire topic when I found out that you had done a book because of the fact that people who have tried to investigate or write about Scientology have dealt with intimidation and lawsuits. You know, there's the famous South Park episode where Paramount pulled it and won't run it anywhere.
Yeah.
Did you have any trepidation about taking this on at all?
You know, initially I didn't, because I truly and honestly did not know anything about Scientology when I was first given this assignment by Rolling Stone. My editors basically gave me the assignment and said, go do this. Mm-hmm. And I knew very, very little about them, and so I didn't know enough to be afraid. In the middle of the reporting I was doing on that Rolling Stone piece, that's when the South Park episode came out. Mm-hmm. So at that point, we got a little bit more concerned. But I didn't. I've never been particularly afraid.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah, because at the end of the South Park episode, they don't have any credits. They attribute the writing, everything to John and Jane Smith.
It was very funny.
The entire thing. All right, now we mentioned this whole, I just mentioned this whole list of celebrities, Hollywood people who belong to Scientology. Mm-hmm. So it sort of has a reputation as being the religion of celebrities. Is that accurate, or is it just a vocal few who belong to the church?
It's not accurate. There are a vocal few that belong to the church, and it's very much of a marketing strategy that's been particularly strong in the past 20 years to market Scientology as a celebrity religion. They have a lot of flashy stuff. If you go to LA, you'll see the celebrity center they have in Hollywood and a number of other buildings that have Scientology placards and stuff like that all over it. That's all part of a presentation that they do to make it seem glamorous and to sort of draw people in. But in reality, they don't have that many celebrities. And actually, I've literally looked at Kabbalah, and I think Kabbalah has more.
Has more celebrities?
Yeah, I mean, they have Madonna.
Well, they've got Scientology, Tom Cruise.
They have Madonna and Demi Moore and a couple of other people, and Scientology has Tom Cruise and John Travolta, and
all right,
they're warring it out, the Madonna and the Kabbalah and Scientology for the celebrity thing.
For those who are not familiar with Scientology, if you had to break down what the basic tenet of Scientology was, the basic philosophy, just briefly, how I know it's hard to do because it's so convoluted. Well, same as any major religion, it's convoluted. How would you break it down? How would you describe what they believe?
They believe that they're eternal. They believe they've lived many, many, many eons, will live many, many eons again. They're on this earth now to sort of perfect themselves as best as they can. They do that through a process that is called auditing. It's like a counseling. Mm-hmm. And their goal is to make the world a better place, which is the goal of every religion out there. This all sounds very mundane, but that is literally, the goal is to clear what they call clear the planet, make the world a better place, and because they're going to keep coming back and back and back. That's
the basic tenet.
That's their basic, and another basic tenet is that for the world to be a better place, it would have to be a Scientology world, which is a lot more controlling. And they have a whole system of ethics that is a Scientology system of ethics, a little bit slightly different than our, it's sort of a Judeo-Christian system of ethics. It revolves completely around the Scientology world. So what they believe are very basic things, but it's organized and oriented around a very Scientology-centric view, and it's very all-encompassing, very controlling.
All right, now there you mentioned controlling about this code of ethics. Some of the things that we hear, and you can answer whether or not they're true or not, are allegations of abuse, and the fact that they are so controlling that they have actually told women that they should or shouldn't have children. These kinds of things. In your investigation, did you find any of that to be accurate?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely will. The people that are told not to have children, those are people that work for the church. The people that have signed up to be basically the clergy, and they have passed, rules, internal rules that women who belong to this, it's called the C organization, that's their clergy, that they can't have kids, and that is true. And some of the women who have gotten pregnant have had abortions because there's, or else, and have not told their husbands. have been told not to tell their husbands. Have just been sort of encouraged to have abortions. Have been separated from their husbands. Yeah.
What has been the church's reaction to the book?
The church, I think the church doesn't like the book, but on that said, I don't believe that very many people in the church, if any, have even read the book. Any criticism, and this book is not a particularly critical.
It's not a hit piece.
It's definitely not. It's very objective. I, spent years doing the research, but any objective analysis in any regard of Scientology is looked upon with suspicion, if not condemned, without even looking at it. And it's seen as spiritually harmful for people to read this kind of material because it would make them doubt. And doubt is something that's not really allowed in Scientology. You have to be very certain about everything. And so a little seed of doubt could create, a cyclone in their view. And so, I don't know how many, officials from the church have even read the book. I don't actually think many, if any.
Well, let's let folks, when they can come and hear you talk more in depth about the book, Inside Scientology. You'll be signing books tonight at 7 p.m. at the San Francisco JCC. Ticket information is on our website. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Janet Reitman.